You in the audience, just raise your hand, and then Noel will come around with the mic for you to ask your question.
Hello. Thank you guys for sharing your information and your knowledge. My name is Anthony. I'm an independent artist based right here downtown in Los Angeles. You guys mentioned there not being a big payout from streaming on the publishing and songwriting side. Have any of the performance rights organizations come up with solutions that you guys know of? Because I feel like the artists are making the brunt of their income from live touring. Have the performance rights organizations stepped in to pay out the songwriters and publishers on that end?
So the performing rights organizations, they primarily pay out the writers and producers from performance royalties, which are not having an issue. So performance royalties are paid out through the radio. That's been consistent since forever. Us as publishers, we get hit harder because we were used to getting paid mechanicals, which are no longer, and performance royalties. So it's really up to the Department of Justice to figure out how writers will be properly compensated. It's not, I mean, everyone's trying, everyone's doing something, everyone's actively working together. We're working actively together with the PROs, but it's not nearly up to them.
Yeah, I think the PROs are definitely fighting for us. I think this year the PROs paid out $1 billion to songwriters, and it's increasing. Just because I said that the money is not as much, there's still a lot of money in publishing. People are making, you got a hit, you're making money. You got multiple hits, you're making real money. And there's ways to be compensated for that. So as a publisher, going to your PRO, getting advance on your royalties. But every time I do go to the ASCAP or BMI Awards, they are advocating at Capitol Hill saying, hey, look, we're fighting for our songwriters. So they're definitely doing their due diligence. I think it's just going to take time. I think it's going to eventually work out for our songwriters and producers and artists on the increase. It has been enacted, but it just, it hasn't gone into effect yet. But I know they've increased it. But whenever that happens, it will happen. But every day our PROs, our publishers are fighting, and certain organizations are fighting every day for our songwriters to get increase in pay.
Another question?
I got the mic. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming out. Nah, it's I'm right here. What's up, guys? Anybody can answer this question. So a lot of the questions and answers have been about money, but we're also moving to a day and time where a lot of people are looking for like social responsibility and CSR. So what are you guys doing, working at labels or working with artists to capture their like social impact, CSR, their ability to like also transcend society with the work that they're doing?
It's more of a marketing question. It's more of a marketing question.
Yeah, once artists get to that level where they have money to give back, they get PRs, and we look for opportunity through our PR. Like Murda had a song, Shopping Spree, setting up a shopping thing for needy families back in his hometown. He did something with like the government of Canada to help school, like when Murda won this tournament to give money for children who can't afford books in schools. And it's definitely something that we want to look into for the future. Definitely once you start having more success, you want a big thing to think about is what type of impact and imprint you're going to release. That's how I feel. So this is one of the first panels I ever spoke on. Definitely want to start doing more things to give back. I don't know if this is answering your question so much. I think we look to our PR to create opportunities for us for things like this.
Like Brandon said, it's kind of a marketing thing, but it also comes down to the music too. I know, at least with Sweetie, a big part of her message when she started out was female empowerment, being on your shit, running your own business. She's very vocal about college education, and we have initiatives for IC University, which is an initiative to help get more people involved in schools. But it really starts with the artists and what their vision is, and then as managers, we help build the team to help execute that. So, if they want to help change people's lives where they're from, then we help put that together for them. But I think it really starts with the artist and the product more than it is with the team.
Hi guys, my name is Leah Lisa. I'm a singer from Canada. My question is, you guys mentioned taking the right steps with developing as an artist, and I was just wanting to ask you guys, what are some of those steps and what makes an artist stand out to you guys when you're looking for new talent?
I think when an artist is CEO of their own brand, it makes our job a lot more effective, so we can maximize what you're doing. We're not creating your vision for you. You know, you should know where you want to go as an artist, and find the team that's going to help you get there.
Yeah, like I just 2 weeks ago, Capital picked up my option for a second year, so working 1 year within a label and going to their A&R meetings, I find, unfortunately, a big thing that they look at, usually labels, not just throwing Capital under the bus, but I manage producers, so I would deal with all labels, and I have good relationships with people at all labels. But the big thing they're looking for is a buzz that you already have, but a big thing that I look for, and especially even with Murda at the start, like, is, yeah, the music itself. I think people say the actual music is 20% of it. It's probably less, to be honest. I think the biggest thing that if me and Murda are going to sign an artist, or if I'm going to sign an artist at Capital, if I'm going to start managing an artist, it's remove the managing thing. I want to know what their manager's like, what their team's like, what their vision's like, what their work ethic is. For the actual art, is it original? Does it stand out? If they have a great voice or make great beats, but they sound like everything else, I'm skipping through right away. But I think yeah, the big thing is having a team. Do they have good work ethic? What's their personality like? You know, I think like all those things are very important, because this is the music business. So someone having a very good voice, and when people hit me up all the time, like, you need to sign my friend, my daughter, my so-and-so, because they have the best voice. I say, you should put them on America's Got Talent, or The Voice, or something like that. I don't run a talent show. I work in the music business, and that voice that you're telling me about, or that they're pretty, or that their beats sound really hard, that's a small piece of the pie. There's so much more to it. And like, tell me what their team's like, what's their manager like, what's their vision, what's their work ethic, what's their personality, how do they stand out from the other 10 million people trying to get in this business?
I think as an artist, you know, we talk about being an entrepreneur a lot, and I think as an artist, you need to be a true entrepreneur. I mean, you have to think, what is your goal? Do you want to get signed by a label? Okay, well, what's your proof of concept for why a label or a partner should give you money? You know, if you ever watch Shark Tank, the first question they ask is, how much are you selling, and how are you doing it? Well, if you're an artist, or a wannabe artist, and you go to a label and no music out, then are you really an artist? Like, you look crazy. So it's like, put the music out, figure out your process for how you're putting it out, and figure out, or find the team to help you figure out how you can grow that with the right partnerships.
Yeah, there's also, sorry, no label's gonna do everything for you, and there's not one label on the planet that can take an artist from 0 to 100. Labels can take you from 60 to 100, maybe from 50 to 100, but you got to show that you're able to do some stuff on your own, and drop some music on your own, and drop a project on your own, and figure it out. Because if you can't make some relationships or have someone for you, not Murda, when the first years he came out here, didn't look anyone in the eye. Now he's super confident, but he had me to help him make those relationships. Are you able to figure it out? Because if not, no label is going to be able to make every relationship for you. No publisher, no PRO, no manager too. Like you got to have that team and that drive. And you kind of got to prove it first.
Yeah, I agree with the label stance. They are looking for, you know, the entrepreneurial spirit, but as a fan base, you know, building your audience, I think it is a lot more about the music. A lot of the artists I've encountered the last few years, I'll give you some examples, from Anderson .Paak to a Moonchild to Xavier Omar to Smino. A lot of these artists have dope music. They may not be label pushed, but they have a core following that you can build off of. You don't necessarily always have to have the biggest hit. You can live in that mid-range as an artist, like PJ Morton, who's killing it right now as a I won't even call him mid-level. It's just he's not selling out arenas yet, but he can once he gets to that level. But I think it is a lot about the music. You do find Like originality, Anderson .Paak, I don't think Anderson .Paak would have worked without his originality because he went against the grain of everything that was coming out the year. I remember seeing him on the XSL magazine and seeing all the other artists that was trap hip hop artists and Anderson .Paak standing out like with this soul hip hop voice, and now he's really killing the game right now. Labels a lot knocking down this door right now trying to figure out how they can partner with him on certain projects. So I think there's a lot more about the music too as well.
For me, I don't absolutely start with the music. I start with who you are as a person. I want to know you. Like, what's your integrity like? What's your people skills like? You know, can we have a conversation? Do I know your family? Like, I truly want to build with you. Like, I don't. In this business, a lot of this business is transactional. So there's certain things that you're gonna have to do. There's certain things that you're gonna have to sign because it's the hottest thing. But my passion doesn't lie in that. My passion is building with somebody from the ground up. And it's like, hey, do we have a relationship? Hey, we're gonna grind. We gotta go stand outside the studio because such and such might be there. I have a relationship with this person. You gotta pull up and just be there. We're gonna hope that he comes out of the room and we're gonna talk to him. And stuff like that. Like, are you gonna be ready to grind? Are you gonna be passionate? Are you gonna be grateful for your opportunity? The one thing that people, songwriters or creatives or producers or artists sometimes miss out is simply saying thank you to the people that are helping you. That goes a long way. I don't need your money, I don't need any of that stuff. Just show appreciation to the person that you're working with, and you're gonna see how much that person is willing to jump off the bridge for you. They'll go 110% times harder than what they're going. A lot of times, the business that we work in is a thankless business. I put you on, you get hot, you fire me tomorrow because this manager is saying, I can go get you this brand new, I can go get you this. So it's your integrity, it's your loyalty, it's your work ethic for me. By the time you get to me, like the music, it's gonna be dope. Like if someone's telling me like, yo, well, if it's at a point where I'm signing somebody, the music is usually dope. So I don't look at the music first. Like you said, for me, the music is not the biggest thing. I know some people, producers and writers that aren't the dopest producers, but they know how to get in a room. They know how to move. You be like, yo, how did he get that placement? Yo, how is he with Trey? Yo, how is he with this person? And it's like, it's so much more of a makeup that goes into it versus just like, yo, I got dope beats. You know how many people got dope beats? I can only imagine how many people hit up Corey, Adam, French, or whatever. Yo, I got dope beats. Yo, you should see my DMs. My DMs.
I've never opened it.
Yo, my DMs are like. In a simple approach, my DMs are like, yo, fuck with me. I'm like, I get death threats sometimes, no lie, because people are like, yo, you didn't respond, or like, yo, I got this one dude particularly that hits me up. I got one dude that hits me up, and he had his baby mama hit me up because I didn't respond. And I'm like, yo, it's the approach, and it's who you are as a person. You approach me properly, I got you. So it's like, I think it's who you are as a person, integrity, loyalty, and work ethic for me. The music is gonna come. If you suck at yourself. But the music is dope. We're gonna work. We're gonna make it happen.
Are we taking more? One last question.
Like 3 more.
Thank you everyone for coming on this sunny Sunday. I know we could all be in a park right now, but you are here. My name is Lady D. My question is for the A&R people. Do you see the traditional A&R job being challenged or showing up in other parts of the industry? I kind of asked that question because I was in the room with an A&R person and they told me it was dead, and then I went into the agency track, so I'm just wondering.
A&R is so crucial.
It's not dead. I'll give you an example. We signed Take Heed at Warner Chapel. And you would think like, yo, this is the biggest producer and this and that. But there's still vital points in a person's career where you can add value. It's certain relationships. It's taking in, hey, you're the biggest producer in this space. How do we cross over and go into the pop space? Connecting him with Marshmello, getting into places like that. Creating relationships to build their business, closing their label deal, helping them, educate them on the process. So it's like, I don't think the business is dead. It has become harder with the digital space and the internet where people can just go online like, yo, who produces record? And then take them and go get a deal. And then you have a lot of managers that just throw you in a production deal and say, hey, look, I'm managing you now. Go sign you off, get a check, and kind of be like, hey, it's left to you. So I don't think it's dead. A&R is still very well alive. You still need someone to put the records together. You still need someone to create ideas for you. A lot of stuff a lot of teams have become self-sufficient and can operate in their own ways, but I do think support of an A&R is still there. I still think putting songs together, finding the producers, like I can sit and tell you probably every producer out, and I can go to certain managers and producers or certain artists, they don't know those producers. So we help funnel those relationships and get them in the room with certain people that they probably didn't have an idea for. It is having a shift. A&R is changing. The normal way of A&R is not the same. So you got to just get creative in that space and find creative ways to make it work for you.
I also think there's a lot of misconceptions on what A&R actually is. Like how many people here really understand what A&R stands for and what it actually means?
Facts. It means therapists. It means fathers, mothers.
It's bigger than just flossing in the studio with an artist. It's everything from understanding, the producer deals, the administration aspects, to finding talent, to being ahead of the curve. I can't tell you how many people send me records for Sweetie and like, this is what she should be doing. Or this is good for her, but you don't know where the artist is at. You have to be in the room, you have to talk to us, you have to understand what our vision is. The other day I came to see you, right?
Yep.
And the day later we had to take Keith and Sweetie in the studio.
And they
crushed it.
Yeah.
But like, the beat we chose was so different from everything else everyone was sending, and that's why it worked. So it's understanding that, like for me, I've adjusted where I gotta look for talent. I feel like if somebody's blown up on Instagram, I'm late. I'm looking at TikTok and Triller. I want to see how people with 0 followers are getting 500,000 streams on a video. And I'm actually sourcing our next acts from those platforms because it's about being ahead of it, not late. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you're a producer, if you're a songwriter, try to take the music to that artist to a place where it's not at yet. Don't try to give them the same song over and over.
I'll say this. I think your question's kind of twofold because we're A&Rs on the publishing side and there are obviously A&Rs on the label side as well. They do more label stuff. I think on our side as publishers, we do work just like the A&Rs on the label side used to do. Now we're in an age where we see A&Rs on the label side. They're more lifestyle. They're more like just in the mix of things. And it's okay, but it's okay because the artists are more comfortable with those people. And I think we are seeing A&Rs look a certain way because the artists need to feel a certain way to get a certain product out. So like on the publishing side, I know for sure, we're consistently thinking about the integrity of the music. We want to put the right people together to make a hit song. Sometimes the A&R on the label side, they may just need to be that person that's around. And that person may be the homie nowadays. It may not be a person that has an incredible ear for music. They may just have their ear to the streets, and they know what's hot in the streets. And that could be an A&R. So I think it looks differently depending on like what you're going for, who the artist is. But it could be a lot of different things at this point. It's just about having the relationship to the artist, having the artist's ear, and knowing what they want and how to execute them to being successful.
It's definitely about being around. How often do you see me in your office? You know what I'm saying? I go and try to find a record for my artist from everywhere around town every day. I don't know where it's coming from. So part of I'm not as effective. Not everyone's the same way. I'm not effective in an office. I'm effective in other people's offices. I gotta be moving. That's just
we're effective in the studio.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, it's a lot of hustle. It's a lot of relationship building. But I think it's just understanding that not every route. There's a lot of different types of A&Rs. I have friends who are in the club all the time. They're great A&Rs for understanding what plays in the club during peak club hours. I go to those people and say, yo, do you think this will play? It's just about understanding where you fit and how to get it to fit in.
It's hard work. I definitely don't like what Brandon was saying to attest to that. The label A&R and the publishing A&R, we work hand in hand, but it has changed. A lot of artists are looking at people that are next to them that might be the lifestyle person, that might have a relationship with such and such that can bring them a situation, and now they become the A&R, and they're the gatekeeper to their situations. Publishing A&Rs are fighting day in and day out to get their songwriters and artists and producers heard and create opportunities for maybe we have this artist and she's never worked with that artist, so we're hitting the label yo, listen, I think this would be a great idea, and here's the reasons why. And we're at it every day. You're in the studio, literally, our boss would call us at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, yo, yeah, I just left the studio. I'm up. He's like, yeah, I'm just making sure that you up. Did you get that song out? Did you do this? Did you go here? Yo, I need you to get on the flight at 6 in the morning. Like, it's very tedious and it doesn't stop and it's continuous and it keeps going. So there is an opportunity. I think if you create it and you can bring something to the table, there's room to be A&Rs. Like, this doesn't stop. Like, music is still going to be made. Has it changed? Yes. The DSPs throwing a song up online and your song blowing up, it happens. But there's still someone who's gonna have to work that project. So I think if you wanna be an A&R, don't get discouraged. Get creative. I would figure out if someone was at a studio and I would be outside like, oh, hey, I just happened to be coming by. What's going on? Oh, did you hear about the song? Like, I was in the studio the other day. Before a song came out, Brancher's producer Digi just put out a song with Khalid, and the manager was there, and he was like, yo, I gotta hit Brancher because this song's coming out. I was like, oh yeah, so what else y'all got coming out? What else do y'all need? I was like, make sure you hit Brancher, let's get those split. So it's about being aware, it's about being present, it's about being in the know, and finding what's going on and bringing something to the table. And I don't think it's going away to me. Like, it's just not. I think it's transitioning, but it's not going away.
Alrighty, guys, give it up for the panel. Give it up.